A video for Giuseppe, and I'm going to talk to you about Adam, or Snowstorm. So the first thing is we find Adam age 20 and he's a superhero, and for me that it doesn't make sense. I mean, it does make sense, but I need more information. So is he 20 and he's just become a superhero, or is he 20 and he's been a superhero all his life but he just hasn't known it, or he's only just discovered it, or is it something he's always known? And well, it says newly powered, but did he always know he was going to be a superhero, or did it happen to him in sort of an accident, say? And what are the superheroes to this world? Because it says a world filled with superheroes. Does that literally mean everybody's a superhero? I mean, I'm assuming not from reading it, but is it sort of a half and half ratio? Is it sort of 1 in 10? Is it 1 in 100? And what relation do the superheroes have to the non-superheroes? Because that's very important, especially when you look into Adam's family history. So who are Adam's family? Are they all superheroes? Does he have a family? Sort of, is it something genetic, or so I'm going to sneeze? No, I'm not. It's okay. That was helpful, I bet. So yeah, I just want to know more about his past and his background, and how he got his powers and why he got his powers and what he wanted to do when he found out he had them. So he's in prison. And what happened? What kind of prison? Was it a modern day prison, so you're in a cell but you're allowed out? Was it an old fashioned prison, so you're in a cell and you're never allowed out of that cell? Was it kind of a sort of stasis prison or something where he's just frozen in time for 5 years as punishment? Or was it kind of a correctional institute where he's taught sort of how not to do it again? Because I mean, all of those are possibilities. There are 100 possibilities as to what prison could be, because this is your own world which you've created. But we have to know what Adam's been through in order to kind of understand him as a character when he comes out of that institution, whatever it may be. I kind of, from then on, I get it. I get that he becomes, he turns kind of philanthropic. But is it because he wants to kind of repay the city and somehow make up for the fact that he killed someone by mistake? Is that why he's doing it? Or has he always wanted to just help people? Because it's quite, I mean, the two reasons, they seem similar, but when you look deeper into them, they'll make a lot more sense of Adam's decision, whether he's doing it purely to kind of make himself feel better, or he's doing it to kind of, I don't know, just because it's his life path and it's what he always knew he had to do. Because those will also feed into his interactions with George, because, if George is stopping him down his life path, that's one reaction, but if George is stopping him from atoning for killing George's sister, then that's quite, that's quite a complicated situation, and I'm sure we'll find out in the dialogue which it is, but just make sure that you know. Going down. Right. Homeless people. So, the destruction is caused by superhuman events. So, are we assuming there's superheroes and supervillains sort of fighting everywhere? So he decides he's going to go back to what he said. He's going to go back to trying to help people. I feel like Adam needs somebody else in his life. Whether it is one of those homeless people, or whether it's a relative or a friend, or even someone from the time he spent in prison. Like, Adam needs somebody else to relate to in order for him to change his mind, because unfortunately, most people, we're just so selfish that people don't care. Like, you know, one of those homeless people or a group of them has got to touch him somehow, like emotionally, in order for that to be a realistic switch, because, you know, otherwise it's quite a huge jump for him to make suddenly. So you've got to make sure that he's really got that motivation to really sell your story. And finally, so we're down at the end, and Adam and George, they're sort of, they're making up, and that's nice. But I suppose at the end, what is it that makes George and Adam click back together again? Like, do they see that they're both flawed in the same way? Is that what it is? Or do they does Adam saving George's life kind of atone for the fact that he killed George's sister? Or is it just that they were always friends and that's why they hated each other so much for the way they were treating each other? Because it sounds daft, but a friend sort of treating you in the way that George and Adam treat each other is much more painful than an enemy doing it. So was that all it was? I mean, it is a really interesting story, and it's very brave to sort of go into another world instead of just staying in the kind of here and now and what we do every single day. But even within that, you still need to just really get to know those character motivations, or you might know them already, but if you do know them, then just make sure the audience know them, make sure everybody knows them and everybody understands them, and that way you'll have yourself a kind of, not realistic, obviously, because it's in another world, but it's still, the characters have still got to be real to the situation they're in, even if the situation they're in isn't real at all. So yeah, I like it. Just get a little bit more information on kind of Adam's background, think about the prison, think about the human effect which people have on each other, and then I think this could really go somewhere. So well done.